What you resist persists. Okay? Understand that, guys. Whatever you resist will persist. Whenever you have lack, it will come back. Okay? It's funny because I'm actually in San Francisco right now, visiting my hometown, visiting my parents. You know, as you know, it's a very liberal city. So these liberals that live on this hill, not too far away from here, they took their entire fence and they spray painted #resist, right? Obviously it's against Trump, right? #resist. Ever since dude became president, everyone's like #resist. And it's almost kind of comical because I almost feel like leftists, SJWs, Democrats, right? A lot of these, they're all grouped together as far as I'm concerned these days, but it's almost like they're demon possessed, right? They're demon possessed in a way where, you know, not to get like too woo-woo, like Satan has almost like imprisoned them in their own minds to constantly and continuously suffer and feel pain and feel anxiety and feel tension and never be happy and never just live and let live. They can just never be happy, right? That's how a lot of SJWs are. They're just, no matter how much you try to please them, they'll always find something to complain about. They'll always find some injustice. They'll always find a way to play the victim, right? They're always going to find a way to feel like they've got a target on their back. I'm part of this oppressed group. They're just never happy, right? And I almost feel like it's, whether you want to call it Satan or the universe punishing them and just feeding them more of what they want, right? Feeding them more of what they resist, right? But as far as that example goes, yeah, it's just hilarious that they had this, they took this entire, like this gigantic fence to spray paint #resist, right? Like resist Trump. When in reality, all they're accomplishing is making people think about Trump every time they see that sign, right? And if you don't like Trump, like these people don't, they hate Trump, every time they see that sign, what do they think of? Trump, right? They think of all the things that he's doing that they don't like, that piss them off. Why would you even want to see that? It's like a reminder every day of something you don't like, right? It's like if you don't like the color blue, and then you have to see the color blue every single day. It's like you not being a fan of the Cowboys. I don't know why you aren't, right? Even though we need to fire Jason Garrett, right? You not being a fan of my favorite team, the Cowboys. You hating the Cowboys even, right? You hate the blue and silver. You hate the Cowboys, yet you putting a helmet, a Cowboys helmet with a big star on it in your room where you have to see it every single day to remind you how much you hate the Cowboys, right? It's just asinine. It's completely asinine. Just to take this even further, beyond politics, beyond the NFL, and beyond the Cowboys, when I say what you resist persists, you just have to understand that mindset, many times it's coming from a very scarcity-based mindset. Okay, whenever you're in that lower consciousness state where you're feeling lack, okay, you're feeling like, oh, you know, how come everybody else has money except for me? Why is everybody else getting ahead except for me? Right? I mean, you're not magically going to wake up and all of a sudden, you know, become wealthy with that attitude, with that mindset. Obviously, right? Because again, what you resist persists. Right? And it just seems like whenever I think of this phrase, right, which was coined by Carl Jung in a book he wrote called Conversations with God. Whenever I think of this phrase, I just think of people who are suffering. People who are suffering from mental demons. People who are suffering at their own hand. Really? Right? They're their own worst enemy. They're the ones who are doing this to themselves, right? Like I was talking about, the anti-Trumpers. They're doing this to themselves, right? They're obsessed with him. And it's like, dude, I mean, if you don't like somebody, you know, in this case, say you don't like Trump, the last thing you should want to do is see anything that will remind you of him, right? But yet, they love to torture themselves. They'll turn on Fox News. It's insane how many, like, liberals, like, watch Fox News. I think there are more liberals watching Fox News than there are conservatives. Just so they could be like, oh, look at what they're doing. Oh, they're lying. That's not true. Trump is lying. You know, and they're torturing themselves. Why can't we just get rid of him and blah, blah. And it's like, dude, all you're doing is bringing more attention to him, you know? I mean, I think liberals and SJWs are responsible for a gigantic portion of his ratings and why he's so popular. You know, they read his Twitter feed, they share it with their friends, you know, they can't stand him, yet here they are, they're just obsessed with him. Right? What you resist persists. And let's look at this, you know, in your own life. I mean, what are you doing that you're struggling with, where you become addicted to your struggle, where you feel you can't get ahead? What are you doing to persist, right? To persist those struggles, right? You know, as you guys know, I take students out, and a lot of students have the most common sticking point that guys have is approach anxiety, right? They have approach anxiety because they've never been able to work up the courage to approach a girl. Okay, their entire lives, they've never done it. They're like, oh, trust me, there are so many girls I tried to walk up to, and then I bail out last second. It's like, why? I don't know, I just bail out, right? And now that's become their default state. Like, they could get as far as approaching, like walking up to the girl, but then they bail out, right? They eject. They don't even give themselves a chance to win. Why? Because what you resist persists, right? And it's not until I get them out on boot camp and on program that I get them to push past that, right? And whether they get rejected or if the girl reciprocates, right? And she happens to like them, which is always a positive thing. Then they realize it's not that bad. Even when they get rejected, they go, oh shit, it wasn't even that bad. She was actually nice. She was just like, no, thank you. She even said thank you. You know, she even told me I was cute, but no, thank you. I have a boyfriend or whatever, you know, which is always a lie. But still, thing is, it's not nearly as bad as what they thought it was going to be. Because a lot of these guys are like, oh my God, I thought she was going to smack me in the face. It's like, no, why would you think that, dude? You watch too many movies, right? Really, what you resist persists until you break through it, okay? Until you break through it. And you have to understand, whenever you're in that frame of mind, you're in a scarcity-based mindset, okay? It's coming from a place of lack, okay? Again, what you lack comes back. You just get more lack, okay? You're not going to get ahead in life, you know, staying in that negative, toxic frame of mind. And this is why I really, really despise SJW culture, liberals. And you know what? I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I do despise Democrats just because they make everybody and every group out there feel like they're oppressed. You have a target on your back. Everybody's racist. Oh, the reason you're not getting ahead is because of racism, sexism. Oh, it's because we're a misogynistic culture. Oh, it's anti-gay. You know, there's always a freaking excuse for everything, as opposed to just being like, hey, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, there's probably racism out there. Shit, I'm sorry. There probably is, you know. Is it everywhere as much as they say it is? Absolutely not. They're lying their asses off. If you think in this day and age everybody out there is racist, you're a friggin' dumbass. And you deserve the piece of shit life that you get. You deserve that toxic existence that you're living if you think that. Okay, if you buy into that Democrat bullshit that, oh, everyone's racist and da-da-da. Don't you understand that I mean, as I peruse through San Francisco, my hometown, I've been hearing that racist shit since the day I was born living here. Like, oh, the reason why is because they're racist, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I've been told that a number of times, like, as I was growing up, you know, and I'm not even black, but people have told me, like, the reason why you didn't get that job, likely, is because they're probably all white and they're all racist. I'm just like, whatever, dude, whatever. You know, I just like, whatever. You know, I just got to do the best I can because not everybody out there is racist, right? I take that standpoint where it's like, you know what, I'm in abundance. It's like, maybe there are some racist people out there, sexist people out there, whatever. So what? Boo fucking who, right? So what? What do you want to do? What do you want me to do? Cry you a river? The world is unfair. Oh, the world is unfair. It's unfair. I can't get ahead. You know? Stop being such a little bitch, right? This is why what you resist persists so much. Okay? Because you're a little bitch. And you think you have a target on your back because you buy everything that CNN tells you and Chris Cuomo and Rachel Maddow and sorry you weren't born a male model, right? Sorry. Okay? Get out there and do the best you can. Okay, if you want the best things in life, stop coming at the universe with such lack and bitching and complaining. Because the universe isn't going to reward you for bitching. God's not going to reward you for complaining about all your lack. Okay? You know when He's going to reward you? He's going to reward you when you're thankful. When you're thankful for what you have versus what you don't have. And really, it wasn't until I crossed that river where I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going broke right now. I'm thankful for what I have. I'm thankful I've got my animals. I'm thankful I got my health. I'm thankful for all of these beautiful women I've dated my entire life. I'm thankful. When that happened, you know what happened? God rewarded me. The universe came and gave me abundance when I stopped complaining and I stopped bitching. Okay? And I stopped resisting, because what you resist, say it, what you resist, that's right, persists. Okay? Stop playing the victim. Stop buying into the bullshit of the left. Those SJW values. You know, you don't have a target on your back anymore. And if you do, I'm sorry. Right? Sorry, do the best you can. Okay, you can't control that. You want to spend the rest of your life acting like you got a target on your back and, oh God, everyone's out to get me. Or do you want to take that energy and use it and build something big and build a life, a legacy that you could look back on and be proud of and accumulate badass friends and hot ass women into your life and badass cars and just live life like a king? Or do you want to spend your life living like a homeless person, complaining, whining, and bitching for the rest of your life and being miserable? Okay? You decide, because this is your life. You can decide how to live it. The choice is yours. Okay? And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Till next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Really helps me out a ton when you guys subscribe, okay? Because YouTube is constantly changing their algorithm and they're constantly unsubscribing people from channels like mine in particular, because they don't like what I'm teaching you guys. They don't like that I'm teaching you guys how to be better men. Right? Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and also share my coaching videos with your buddies and like-minded friends and like-minded coworkers and family members, so we could really start creating a movement here and getting more guys on board and getting more guys red-pilled and unplugging more guys from the blue pill matrix. It helps everybody out when you share red pill content like this, when you share coaching videos like mine. Okay?